On the interstate again, they hear the story from Axel Sally. Sally broadcasts from the Husky 3 miles up on the eastbound side. Seems a cattle truck is piled up by the pumps there, left idling. The boy doesn't see the driver. All he knows is it's pretty ripe, even for a stock hauler. Something more than the usual cow shit oozing out from the air spaces. He tries to get a look inside, but it's hard to get that close with the smell and all, so he grabs his flashlight and plays it around and back. And what do you think he sees? Dead. Dead for some time, from the look of them, ribs showing, legs splayed, a heap of bad meat. Between the time it takes the boy to run in to tell Sally till they get back out to the pumps, whoever it was driving the thing has pumped himself 20 gallons and taken a powder. Then comes the call to Sally's radio. "Put it on my tab," he says. Ryder P. Moses, westbound. They can smell it in their minds. The men who have run cattle or have had a stock wagon park beside them in the sleeping lot of some truck stop, the thought of it makes them near sick. Crazy. Stone wild crazy. Hello there again, friends and neighbors. This is Ryder P. Moses, the demon of the dotted line, the Houdini of the highways. Hell on 18 wheels. Sorry if I inconvenienced anybody with a little change of plans there, but fuel oil was going for 2 cents a gallon cheaper at the Husky, and I never could pass up a bargain. Funny I didn't see any of you folks there. You ought to be a little sharper with your consumer affairs. These are hard times. People don't see how you can afford to let that kind of savings go by. I mean, us truckers of all people should see the writing on the wall, the bad news in the dollars and cents department. Do we keep America moving or don't we? And you know as well as me there ain't shit moving these days. Poor, honest, independent don't have a Chinaman's chance, and even union people are being unsaddled left and right. Hard times, children. Just isn't enough stuff has to get from here to there to keep us in business. Hell, the only way to make it is to carry miscellaneous freight. Get that per item charge on a full load and you're golden. Miscellaneous. The blue flashers are coming now, zipping by the westbound truckers, sirenless in 2s and 3s, breaking onto the channel to say, "Don't panic, boys, all we want is the cattle truck. All the trophy we need for tonight is Moses. You just lay back and relax." Oh, those Smokies, when they set their minds to a thing, they don't hold back. They hump after it full choke and don't spare the horse. Ryder P. Moses, your ass is grass. Smokey the Bear on your case and he will douse your fire. Oh, yes. Freight, miscellaneous freight. Think about it, friends and neighbors, brothers and sisters. Think about what exactly it is we haul all over God's creation here. About the goods and what they mean, about what they actually mean to you and me and everyone else in this great and good corporate land of ours. Think of what you're hauling right now. Ambergris for Amarillo, gaskets for Gary, oil for Ogallala, submarines for Schenectady, veal for Vermilion. The Smokies moving up at near 100 per, a shooting stream in the outside lane, for once allied to the truckers. Tomato for Mankato, manna for Tarzana, stew for Kalamazoo, jerky for Albuquerque, fruit for Butte. Outdistancing all the legitimate truckers, the Smokies are a blue pulsing in the sky ahead, the whole night on the blink. Boise potatoes for Pittsburgh pots, Scotts Bluff sugar for Tampa tea, forage and fertilizer, guns and caskets, bull semen and hamburger. Sweet corn, soy, stethoscopes, and slide rules, androids and zinnias, but folks, somehow, we always come back empty. Come back less than we went, diminished. It's a law of nature, it is a law. They come upon it at the 375 marker, a convention of bears, flashing around a cattle truck on the shoulder of the road. What looks to be a boy or a very young man, spread-eagled against the side of the cab, a half-dozen officials, hands probing his hidden regions. The trucks slow one by one, but there is no room to stop. They roll down their co-pilot windows, but the only smell is the thick electric blue of too many cops in one place. You see him! Just a kid! Probably stole it in the first place. Gone crazy on drugs, fucking hippie or something. Got his ass butt good. Know who he is? Know his handle? Seen it before, the end of him anyhow. All order and etiquette gone with the excitement, they chew it over among themselves, who he might be, why he went wrong, what they'll do with him. Curiosity, and already a kind of disappointment. That soon it will all be over, all explained, held under the dull light of police classification, made into just some crackpot kid who took a few too many diet pills to help him through the night. It is hard to believe that the pale, skinny boy frisked in their headlights was who kept them turned around for weeks, who pried his way into their nightmares, who haunted the CB and outran the Smokies. That he could be the one who made the hours between Lincoln and Cheyenne melt into suspense and tension. That he could be Ryder P. Moses, westbound on 80. Where are all you people? Who? What? Where? Ryder P. Moses, who else? Out here under that big black sky, all by his lonesome. I sure would appreciate some company. Seems like you all dropped out of the running a ways back. Though I seen some bear tracks in my rear view, maybe that's it. Now it's just me and a couple tons of beef. Can't say these steers is much for conversation, though. No, sir, you just can't beat a little palaver with your truckin' buddies and sisters on the old CB to pass the time. Do I have a copy out there? Anybody? They switch to the channel they agreed on at the Bosselmans, and the word goes out down the line. He's still loose. He's still out there. The strategy is agreed on quickly. Silent running. Let him sweat it out alone, talk to himself for a while, and haul ass to catch him. It'll be a race. Coyote, in an empty flatbed, takes the lead. You're probably all wondering why I called you together tonight. Education. I mean to tell you some things you ought to know. Things about life, death, eternity, you know. Tricks of the trade, the popular mechanics of the soul, a little exchange of ideas, communication. I talk, you listen, right? Up ahead, far ahead, Coyote sees taillights moving at least as fast as he, almost 85 in a strong crosswind. He muscles the clutch and puts the hammer down. Friends, it's all a matter of wheels, cycles. Clock hand always ends up where it started out. Sun always dips back under the cornfields. People always plowed back into the ground. Take this beef chain I'm in on. We haul the semen to stud, the calves to rangeland, the 1-year-olds to the feedlot, then to the slaughterhouse, the packer, the supermarket, the corner butcher, the table of John Q. Public. J.Q. scarfs it down, puts a little body in his jizz, pumps a baby a year into the wife till his heart flattens and flops, and next thing you know he's pushing up grass on the lone prairie. You always end up less than what you were. The universe itself is shrinking in cycles. Coyote closes to within 100 yards. It is a cattle truck. He can smell it through his vent. When he tries to come closer, it accelerates over 100, back end careening over 2 lanes. Coyote feels himself losing control, eases up. The cattle truck eases too, keeping a steady 100 yards between them. They settle back to 80 per. Engines. You can grease them, oil them, clean their filters and replace their plugs, recharge them, antifreeze and STP them, treat them like a member of the family, but papa, them miles take their toll. Time and distance bring us all to rust. We haul engines from plant A to plant B to be seated in bodies. We haul them to the dealers, buy them and waltz around a couple numbers, then drag them to the scrapyard, Junk City, USA, where they break down into the iron ore of 1,000,000 years from now. Some cycles take longer than others. Everything in this world is a long fall, a coming to rest, and an engine only affects where the landing will be. The cure for time and distance is speed. Did you know that if you could travel at the speed of light, you'd never age? That if you went any faster than it, you would get younger? Think about that one, friends and neighbors. A cycle reversed. What happens when you reach year 0, egg and tadpole time, and keep speeding along? Do you turn into your parents? Put that in your carburetor and slosh it around. And on he goes into relativity, the relationship of matter and energy, into the theory of the universe as a great Mobius strip, a snake swallowing its own tail, leaving Coyote far behind, though the 100 yards between stays constant. On he goes into the laugh of a cell, gerontology, cryogenics, hibernation theory, through the 7 stages of man and beyond, through the history of age and the literature of immortality, through Grand Island and Kearney, through Lexington and Cozad and Gothenburg, with Coyote at his heels, through 100 high-speed miles of physics and biology and lunatic fringe theology. You can beat 'em, though, all these cycles. Oh, yes, I've found the way. Never stop. If you never stop, you can outrun them. It's when you lose your momentum that they get you. Take sleep, the old whore, the seducer of the vital spark. Ever look at yourself in the mirror after sleep has had hold of you? Ever check your face out? Eyes pouched, neck lined, mouth puckered, it's all been worked on, cycled, aged, wrinkle city. The cycle catches you napping and carries you off a little closer to the ground. Sleep, ladies, when it has you under, those crows come tiptoeing on your face, sinking their tracks into you. Sleep, gents. You wake from her half stiff with urine, stumble out to do an old man's aimless 2 yellow pee. It bloats your prostrate, pulls your paunch, plugs your ears, and gauzes your eyes. It sucks you, sleep, sucks you dry and empty, strains the dream from your mind and the life from your body. Reflector posts ripping by, engine complaining, the two of them barreling into Nebraska on the far edge of control. And you people let it have you. You surrender with open arms. Not me. Not Ryder P. Moses. I swallow my sleep in capsules and keep one step ahead. Rest not, rust not. Once you break from the cycle, escape that dull gravity, then people, you travel in a straight line. And there is nothing so pure in this world. The interstate goes on forever, and you never have to get off. And it's beautiful. Beautiful. The things a sleeper never sees open up to you. The most beautiful dream is the waking one, the one that never ends. From a straight line, you see all the cycles going on without you, the night fading in and out, the sun's arch, stars forming and shifting in their signs. The night especially, the blacker the better, your headlights making a ghost of color on the roadside, focusing to climb the white line. You feel like you can ride deeper and deeper into it. That night is a state you never cross, but only get closer and closer to its center. And in the daytime there's the static of cornfields, 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 flat monotony like a hum in your eye, like you're going so fast it seems you're standing still, that the country is a still life out your windshield. It begins to weave gently in front of Coyote now, easing to the far right, nicking the shoulder gravel, straightening for a few miles, then drifting left, nodding. Coyote hangs back a little farther, held at bay by a whiff of danger. Do you know what metaphor is, truckin' mamas and papas? Have you ever met with it in your waking hours? Benzedrine, there's a metaphor for you, and a good one. For sleep. It serves the same purpose, but makes you understand better, makes everything clearer, opens the way to more metaphor. Friends and neighbors, have you ever seen dinosaurs lumbering past you? The road sizzle like a fuse, night drip down like old blood. I have, people. I've seen things only gods and the grandfather stars have seen. I've seen dead men sit in my cab beside me and living ones melt like wax. When you break through the cycle, you're beyond the laws of man, beyond CB manners or smoky sirens or statutes of limitations. You're beyond the laws of nature, time, gravity, friction. Forget 'em. The only way to win is never to stop. Never to stop. Never to stop. The sentences are strung out now, a full minute or two between 'em. The only escape from friction is a vacuum. Miles flying under, North Platte growing vaguely ahead on the horizon. Coyote, dogged, hangs on. There is an inexplicable crackling on the wire, as if he were growing distant. There is nothing for miles to interfere between them. The shortest distance between 2 points. A straight line. Two alone on the plain, tunneling Nebraska darkness. Even the earth is falling. Even the sun is burning out. The side-to-side drifting, more pronounced now, returns to the middle, more brief. Coyote strains to pick the voice from electric jam. North Platte's display brightens. Miles pass. Straight. There is a very loud crackling now, his speaker open, but his words hung, a crackling past the Brady exit, past Maxwell. Coyote creeping up a bit, then lagging as the stockholder picks up speed and begins to slalom for real. Coyote tailing it like a hunter after a gut-ripped animal, spilling its last, and louder crackling as it lurches, fishtails and lurches again, wheels screaming, smoke spewing, saved only by the straightness of the road, and crackling back when Coyote breaks into the band, yelling, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" pulling horn and flicking lights till the truck ahead steadies. Straddling, half on, half off the right shoulder, in direct line with the upspeeding concrete support of an overpass, and he speaks, calm and clear and direct. "This is Ryder P. Moses," he says. "Going west. Good night and happy motoring." Coyote swerves through the flameout, fights for the road, as the sky begins a rain of beef.